is Janet, and I am one of the home health nurses, and I was invited here today by your mom to talk to you about inhalers. I understand that you recently went to the doctor and you were diagnosed with asthma. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about how old you are?
I'm 9 years old.
Okay. And do you go to school?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the reason that we're videotaping this today is because your mom allowed us to do this for other children, that they will be able to see that other kids in their school and other kids the same age and younger have asthma, and that they can use their inhalers and know what to do themselves. So I appreciate you letting me do this with you today. Now, we're going to look at what kind of goes on into your body while you're having an asthma attack.
Asthma flare-up. Breathing might seem mysterious because you can't look inside your lungs to see how it works. Let's look inside the lungs to find out what's going on when someone has asthma. When we breathe, air goes in and out of the lungs. The air travels in and out through airways, also called bronchi and bronchioles. Let's take a closer look at the airways. Here is what healthy airways look like on the inside. Air flows in and out because these airways are wide open, leaving space for air to come and go. When airways look like this, they work well. Breathing is easy. People who have asthma have trouble with the airways in their lungs. Instead of being open and clear, the airways are often a little inflamed. This means that the walls of the airways are irritated, red, and a little swollen, even if the person isn't coughing, wheezing, or having trouble breathing. In a person with asthma, the airways are sensitive. This means that it often doesn't take much to cause an asthma flare-up or asthma attack. Triggers, such as tobacco smoke, allergies, or just catching a cold, can cause a flare-up. This further irritates the bronchi and bronchioles, causing them to get more inflamed. The airways become even more swollen. The airways produce a lot of sticky mucus, and the muscles around the airway squeeze from the outside. This is called bronchoconstriction. All three of these changes, inflammation, more mucus, and bronchoconstriction, make it difficult to breathe. There's less space in the airway for air to flow in and out. The person may cough, wheeze, and feel out of breath. If it's not treated with medicine, an asthma flare-up can last several hours or even days. But for most people, using rescue medicine, usually through an inhaler, provides quick relief. That makes breathing easier.
What happens while you're having an attack with inflammation and swelling going on in your lungs and airway passages? So what we're going to talk to again today is about your inhaler that your doctor ordered you. Okay? Have you ever used an inhaler before?
No.
No? Okay. Well, it's not scary. It's very easy to do, and we're going to go step by step, and then I'm going to let you show me how that you understand, okay? Well, first of all, this is your inhaler. It has a little cap on it, and that little cap is just to keep it clean. So it just goes back and forth to keep it clean. This is what they call a rescue inhaler, which means that it works very quickly. When you start having shortness of breath or coughing, then you take your inhaler, you take 2 puffs of it, and it will help with those symptoms that you're having. And they'll go away pretty quickly, okay? This is called a spacer. The medication from the inhaler goes into the spacer. And the reason that we use spacers, especially with children, is because if you don't get a good tight seal with your inhaler, you lose a lot of medications. Where if we take this and squirt the medication in there, you're going to get all of it. And so that's why we use this mostly with kids. Alright? You take the cap off. You insert it in the end of the spacer. You give it a good squirt. And then when you put this in your mouth, you count 1 to 10. Okay? After that, you take a good deep breath out. Then when you wait just a minute, you do another squirt. You take a good deep breath in from the spacer, and you count to 10 again. And that will be all that you need to do. All right, do you think you can do that?
Yes.
Okay, you show me. Let's put it back together here. Give it a good shake. Okay, Mackenzie, you did very, very well using your inhaler. So now I want to talk to you about what causes asthma. From the video, can you tell me what you learned about what causes asthma?
The smoking.
And anything else?
Tobacco.
Tobacco? Okay. I want to talk to you about what kids are exposed to the most. And cigarette smoke is one of the main things that they can't do anything about. If your parents smoke or other people smoke, there's nothing that you can do about that. But three of the other main things that kids have problems with is pets. Do you have a puppy or a cat?
Yes.
Do you? And do you sleep with that?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Well, now, sometimes asthma can develop because of pet dander. So you probably will need to love on your puppy before you go to bed, or your kitty, and then they should not sleep with you, because just breathing in their fur and their dander during the night can cause you to have an asthma attack. The other thing is when you're running around either at school or even at home, if you know that you're going to do a lot of strenuous exercise, out running, playing, swinging, sliding, riding your bike, everything that kids do, you need to take your inhaler about 15 to 30 minutes before you go out and play. And that way it will kind of help you not have an unanticipated attack, okay?
Okay.
The other thing would be that, or time that you might have increased problems, is when it's real wet. When we're having rainstorms or thunderstorms, a lot of people have trouble breathing whenever it's a wet, moist day. Okay, and you might have to have an extra dose of your inhaler at that time. So basically, I want to re-go over everything that we've talked about today. How often are you supposed to take your inhaler?
Twice a day.
Okay. And what is this called? Spacer.
A spacer.
A spacer. Okay. And to clean your spacer, that's why I picked it up again. You take the cap off, you take the lid off, and you wash it with warm water, and you let it air dry. Okay, so all the parts need to be taken apart, and you let it air dry, and then you can use it again. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh yeah. What happens if your friend has asthma?
Well, your friend would have some of the same symptoms as you do. Some trouble breathing, you might hear them wheeze or cough a lot, but you should never share your medication with them. Okay, that medication is what your doctor wanted you to have. So they need to go see their own doctor to get any kind of medication. So do not at all share yours. That's just for you. Okay, anything else? No? Okay, the other thing, when you take your inhaler, some of the symptoms that you might have would be that you might feel a little bit more nervous, you might have a headache, you might have a little bit of upset stomach. But that goes away real quick. And so it won't last long. But if that happens to you just a few minutes after you take your inhaler, that's probably what caused it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. If you have any questions, your mom knows how to get in touch with me. And I really appreciate you making this video with me today. And you've been very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.